Time. All right. On the ground.
It's hot as hell. Why do I do this to myself? I don't know. I'm also really fat, so I kind of need it. But with that statement, also in a sense, the pain that I'm putting myself through in the sauna, Dean brought up a really good point. It's Friday. I'm tired as hell. I didn't sleep that well. And going into practice, I'm just like, just gotta get through it. Just gotta get through it. And I'm just coasting. And that's, one, not how it should be. But two, one, with this little fat joke and other stuff in the gym, Dean's like, dude, you're so negative on yourself. Why? You know that creates self-sabotage. You put it out into the universe comes back in a full circle. Whatever negativity you put out, even if though it's on yourself, it's gonna come back to yourself. Then eventually that negative persona is gonna just be put out to the world. And now if I can't take care of myself, I'm putting myself down, then I'm probably putting other people down as well. Or putting other people in front of me, which sometimes might be the case depending on situations, but that's never the case really. I have to take care of myself, and self-sabotage is a huge thing. You know, I've talked about it before in another video where I've seen fighters be perfectly fine, everything's great, and they create some type of self-sabotage in their head because of whatever circumstances. Literally, I've seen people, teammates, friends that have quit mentally before getting inside the cage because they're like, everything's going perfect, so something has to go wrong. No, it doesn't. And it's the same thing with me. Yeah, I kind of do that Eminem 8 Mile thing where it's like, let me talk smack about myself first, and then I'll roast you after. But somehow it just ends up talking smack about me the whole time. And it's me against me. I'm really good at talking smack, especially to myself. But it's that negative personification I put on myself that also creates self-sabotage with relationships, with business deals, with fights, with training, with life. You know, and it's crazy because I do have my natural insecurities, which I do believe a lot of people do. But I've been putting too many of those insecurities out to the world and too open. And after, you know, you get certain people that tell you something, but then you have that one person that tells you something, you really listen. I'm just like, huh, wow, that's where my insecurities come from. It's not because of somebody else or people or business. It's because of me. I'm the one that believes either people or believes myself. Or if I heard it once and for some reason overthink it, now it's being put on me and I'm putting it on myself. When I can just let it go by. When I can just not think about it. When I can just not even care. But for some reason I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm short and fat. Or yeah, you're right. I'm, you know, stubborn. And yeah, you're right. I'm prideful. Or whatever the case may be. Like, we have to stop creating self-sabotage. And when I say we, I mean, honestly, me too. But it's just the message of self-sabotage is a real thing. You know, I've seen people, again, go inside of fights, myself, you know, whether it's with Alex Perez, my very first fight, fights I remember when I won Nationals, exactly when I won Nationals. I was like, I saw the fight before he had, and I was like, I could beat him. I'm not worried about it. Like, I know his technique, I know his game. I've already strategized and created the game plan. I'm good. And then I went in there and froze because, like, what if he does this? Man, he has so much power. What if he does that? I got dropped 3 times in the first round because of my insecurities, because of me creating self-sabotage. And after so long, I woke up and kind of woke up for the fight. In second and third round, I won and dominated, and I beat him. But then the next year, I didn't. I fought him again, coincidentally, for the same national finals, and I didn't have that self-sabotage. I didn't have that doubt, that fear. I had confidence in myself, and I went in there and I wrecked him. And I'm like, did I just get that much better from a year? Maybe, maybe. But it was my mindset that got that much better. It was, I was clear as day when I went in there and comfortable compared to what if he does this? What if he does that? How many times have you been on a roller coaster? We get too hot in this. Okay, so, God, that sucks. What I was saying is, you know, life's like a roller coaster. We think about it and we think so much. We see how big it is. We see how high it goes compared to the other roller coasters. Then we start going up. It's like, and the anxiety starts to pick up. That fear. Your heart starts pumping, and you look down. You're like, dude, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. This machine's gonna break. I'm gonna die. Like some Final Destination type of thing. And I don't know. You go down and you scream, and it's like 2 seconds. 3 seconds of that anxiety and that big screams of the big, huge relief, and then you just start enjoying the ride, going through whatever 90-second journey if it's that long, and then when it's done, you're like, oh, I do it again. That wasn't that bad. Like, why was I thinking so much about it, guys? Can we do it again? It's like, why didn't you have that same mindset going on it? Why were you so scared? I know a lot of people who are excited, but most are afraid, and I get it. I'm afraid of heights. But I love roller coasters. Like, heck, I'm going skydiving this weekend. Like, it's one of those things that I'm facing my fears, but I'm also not facing my fears of myself when it comes to self-sabotage. I need to talk more positively. I need to find out different ways. Guys, if you have ways, please put it in the comments below, because I could definitely use the help. But again, I don't just make these videos for myself. I make them for you too. I might be showing that, dude, I might be going through my own problems, my own little dilemmas. One of them being insecure, and because of my insecurities, I have a lot of regrets because I was afraid to do things, or I didn't know how to handle things, or my decision making was poor. It's because of insecurities. How many people you know are confident and still try to do whatever, and even though they get shot down or whatever the case may be, they're like, well, on to the next one, I tried. It's like, are you used to negativity, that rejection, or are you just that confident? Most of the time, because you're just that confident, eventually it's going to succeed. So why not keep on going? Why not have that mindset of positivity? And I've known people, from my own experiences of practice or training or actual real life combat, where people are afraid and they show up under the lights and they show up and they dominate. Or it's vice versa. They're gym warriors and they go in there and create self-sabotage, and they're just not the same person. You're like, dude, you were beating up everybody in the gym. You were beating me up. And I've beaten that guy before. Why aren't you beating them? They're just not themselves. It's a mindset thing. So take care of your brain. Take care of your mind. This is your best machine. It's not, you're the operator for that machine. You don't have a good operator, it's not going to go well. So I hope this helps. It helped me a little bit. Kind of, sort of, not really. But it's just trying to be as positive as possible. And given you're going to have your down days. You're going to have self-doubt. That's natural. But always find a way to figure it out, get around it, and pick it up. I mean, Miles, from you in the background, do you have any comment on that?
Self-sabotage is something I'm like the poster child of that, so I can relate. But yeah.
It's crazy how, like, when we think of things in general, especially when it's too late, whether it's person passing, relationships, careers ending, whatever the case may be, during the moment, all we think about are the bad times.
Right.
Like, all we think about is negativity. I'll use my father as an example. All I thought about was the negative. My dad did this to me. He didn't do that to me. I didn't get this from him. But then when he passes, especially when he passes, and I got over a lot of things, my personal resentments, whatever, you start to notice the good, and that's all you remember. Yeah, and the bad times, they end up becoming funny. Why? They were horrible at the time, but they become funny. Like, oh yeah, remember when he did that to me? Like, whatever, it is what it is now. It's like, yeah, get over stuff. I'm not saying that in the negative way, but I'm saying, like, I moved past it. I might not have gotten over it, but I moved past it. I thought positively with that, especially when my father passed. I thought nothing but the positive when he was gone, the things he taught me, the same thing with relationships, same thing with careers ending. It was like, man, I had a great time doing that. It is what it is, but that's never stopped me from pushing forward. It's the same thing with self-doubt. There's going to be negativity in your life, but you can't let it bring you down. And again, that's really me talking to myself, because, and even you, Miles, like, we are the poster child for negativity, and sadly, darkness will always overcome the light if you let it. And the light definitely struggles to come out, but once it's out, man, that thing is out there, and it's bright. You gotta figure out how to make your light a little brighter and keep on pushing forward. But I'm hot. I gotta cool off.